When I bought this house, I thought the worst thing I'd have to deal with was fixing the plumbing. I didn't know about the family that used to live here, or what really happened to them. And I definitely didn't know about the voices my daughter kept hearing at night. "Daddy, come look!" Millie yelled from her balcony above me. "What is it, sweetheart?" I asked, wiping the sweaty forehead. "Come quick!" It was only 9 in the morning, yet I have worked since 7 on painting the fence. I needed a break anyway. I went up to her room, and I saw what she was pointing at. The window was covered in foggy condensation, and as if somebody wrote it with their finger, there was a single word on it. "Help." "My friend wrote it." "Which friend?" "Sam. He comes to my room sometimes at night." I raised an eyebrow. I know kids can make up imaginary friends sometimes. Hell, even I did, as Mom told me once. The thing is, when it happens with your kid, it's a whole different story. I chose my next words very carefully. "Why did Sam write this, Millie?" "I don't know. He seems sad." "How come?" "He is always frowning. He doesn't speak." I figured the divorce would be hard on Millie. I was lucky enough to get custody and take her away from her narcissistic mother, who mentally abused her in a way she was too young to understand. The final straw was when Millie caught her cheating. She tried gaslighting my own daughter against me, to both distance her from myself, and to try and get Millie on her side before inevitable divorce. I was so proud of Millie. She told me that Mom had a friend visiting several times a week while I was away at work, and that something seemed wrong to her. God bless her. For a 9-year-old, she was really smart. She understood to a certain level why we had to get divorced, but that did not change the fact that she still missed her mommy. Afterwards, I did the only logical thing, even though I knew it would not be easy for Millie. We moved 3 states away to a small town in the Midwest. I hoped a fresh start would be good for both of us, and I did not think twice when I saw the listing for a 2-story house being sold at a relatively cheap price. Located on the edge of the city, with beautiful nature around it, it was perfect. My boss was very understanding when I asked to work remotely, so I figured, even if something doesn't fit us here, we could simply move again. I knew this was a lot to process for her. A lot of changes happened, and I tried giving her as much attention as possible, but between both company and housework, it was not easy. So perhaps all of this was just her way to cope. Maybe she made up a friend to express her conflicting feelings to someone. Finding friends in a new area was not easy. Maybe she was coping with big life changes. Or maybe this was just a ploy to get more attention from the daddy. I looked over the window again. The fact that message literally said, "Help," only supported my theory. "Alright, sweetie, you know what? How about I finish my work later, and we can go get ice cream now?" "Yay!" She burst with joy for a moment, face turning to frown a moment after. "I wish Sam could go with us. We can buy you some toys, and you can show them to Sam later." I played along only for a bit. I knew I should acknowledge her feelings, but not go overboard with it. Pretty soon Sam might become real if I did that. We spent a day at the mall. I got her some ice cream as promised, some dolls and clothing for them, and she even begged me for an expensive dollhouse. I gave in. Today was her day. Anything that could make her mind off. It worked. She did not mention Sam for the rest of the day, nor did I. I made her some macaroni and cheese in the evening, and we watched Finding Nemo. I told her it was my favorite cartoon, and she loved it. I took her to my room, kissed her goodbye, and went myself to bed. Next morning, I got back to painting the fence. Around the same time as yesterday, Millie called me. I was not about to dismiss her feelings yet, so I played along again. I got to her room, and sure enough, there were the words on the window again. "Under the shed." Unlike the one from yesterday, this message gave me chills. I could associate the word "help" with Millie's feelings, but this seemed too random for her. "Why do you think Sam wrote that, sweetie?" I asked carefully. "He is a sad daddy. He needs you to help him." I turned to her, trying to not give away the glimpse of panic in my eyes. "What does Sam look like?" "Oh, I can't see him in the dark exactly. He just sits in the corner of the room. Swaying. Swaying? How do you know he is named Sam? Yes, with hands around his legs. That is all that he speaks all the time. Sam, Sam, Sam. A puzzle started coming together in my head. I didn't believe in ghosts too much, but small towns, a cheap house that sold pretty much instantly. Is Sam real? Is this house actually haunted? I tried laughing casually, and telling Millie I would help Sam after we got some breakfast. I could not eat though. I watched Millie, she was not scared. Unlike me. If Sam was indeed real, and Millie was not afraid of him, perhaps he is just a benign ghost? Do those exist? I went over to my first-door neighbor's house after, to an older gentleman named Mark, who came over to introduce himself the first day I came here. I thought he would give me some answers. We sat. He poured us some fine whiskey. I tried refusing as it was still morning. He persuaded me, saying he doesn't have that many people left to share drinks with. I accepted. Mark, I have to ask you a weird question. Why was the house I bought so damn cheap? I was wondering when you were going to ask me that, he said, putting his glass away, tone turning serious. Well, before you came over, a few months ago there was a murder in the house. Blood drained from my face, and he must have noticed it. Yes, I know. Not a thing you want to hear. What happened? A father suffering from schizophrenia, which we did not know until then. He killed his wife, presumably his son and himself. Mother's body was found in the house, but his and son's bodies were never found. Mark lost himself in thoughts for a moment and gulped. It was declared as murder-suicide. Blood trails led behind the house towards the woods, disappearing there. I was the one to call the police actually. I heard him yelling over and over, "Kill them all. I must kill them all." One of the people that saw him that day said that he snapped, thinking his family had been replaced by imposters. I see. I downed my drink, handing over glass to Mark for a refill. Don't think about it too much, kid. Paranoia and schizophrenia are a dangerous combination, but it's all in the past now. Focus on the future. It's a wonderful house, and those things happen unfortunately. Yes, they do, I said absently. I could not tell him that I thought the house was haunted. I would look crazy. I downed the second drink, thanked him, and went back to the house. I knew what I had to do now. I waited for Millie to fall asleep. As soon as I put her to bed, I took the shovel and went straight for the shed. It was behind the house, at the far edge of the backyard, tall trees towering over it looking much bigger and dense at night. The same forest where Father took the kid. Presumably. I only checked it out the first day I came here. I did not have time nor strength to deal with it. A large metal door creaked, and I was hit with the stale smell of mold and rust. Boxes and tools were scattered all over the place, and the light of the flashlight hit something that drew my attention. The shed did not have a floor. It was basically put right on the ground, plain dirt below my feet. In the corner, I could see the edge of something metal. I moved the boxes to reach it, coughing from the dust, and shined the light on it. It seemed like the hatch door. Hatch door under the shed. The police must have missed it a few months back. I debated if I should open it. I thought about it for a moment. I remembered a documentary I caught on a TV once. It was either sudden, violent death or unfinished business that prevented dead people from ascending, keeping their ghosts on Earth. The only logical explanation was that little Sam's ghost is still at unrest because he was violently murdered by his father. By finding his body, I could help him. A proper burial would release him, I guess, and he will not visit Millie at night anymore. I grabbed the hatch and I pulled. A cold gust of air blew right through me, sending shivers down my spine, almost knocking me down. I thought I even heard a rough voice for a moment. I didn't make out the words, however. I pointed the flashlight down below, and I could immediately realize it was one of those end-of-the-world bunkers. It made sense, of course. A paranoid schizophrenic would have atomic shelter in his backyard. I could see 2 bunk beds, shelves filled with canned food, and right there in the middle, remains of 2 bodies, and a shotgun between them. I didn't need to see anything else. I ran back to the house and called the police immediately. 2 patrol cars appeared soon, and I led them to the shelter. One of the officers, a chubby man named Robert, knew the family. Tears appeared at the corner of his eyes when he saw decaying bodies, and by the clothing only he said he could confirm it was them. He did not need to wait for forensics. I left the officers to finish the work, feeling relief and fear at the same time. I did help Sam. That, however, meant Sam was real. At least at one point. Mark was on the street in front of the house, with a couple of neighbors that came to check why there were patrol lights in the middle of night. I pulled him to the side and explained. This time I did not care about sounding crazy, so I told him everything. Night has been too crazy already. But all of that meant little Sam was finally put to rest. Mark squinted his eyes at me. What do you mean, Sam? It was what the ghost kept repeating, Millie said. We figured it was his name. Sam is the older brother. He is still alive, working in New York City. He was there when all of this happened. You actually bought a house from him through his agent, I think. Huh. I tried making sense of it, but I gave up. I was already mentally exhausted. I realized I haven't checked on Millie since I put her to sleep. Lights and noise might have woken her up. I waved goodnight to Mark. I got to Millie's room, and as suspected, she was already awake. Hi baby, sorry about. Daddy. Sam was speaking. She interrupted me. He came to say goodbye. Did he? I am glad he did. I still tried acting as if all of this was normal, which was not by far. Him coming to say goodbye raised hair on my skin. He left you a message, Millie said cheerfully, pointing at the window. I moved the curtains, and surely enough, there was a message. Not the one I wanted or expected to see.
Kill them all. I can finally kill them all.